When today is unpredictable, you need sound advice and strong support to help you stay focused on your long-term financial goals for tomorrow. Together with an advisor from Rise Private Wealth Management, formerly Pell Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisor practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, you can plan your future while navigating your now. Ameriprise Financial has been guiding clients through challenging times for 130 years. You can take comfort in working with a financial advisor who's backed by that strong experience and who's there to guide you with personalized, goal-based financial advice. Call Rise Private Wealth Management today at 914-253-8800. That's 914-253-8800. Office is located at 800 Westchester Avenue, Suite 300 in Rybrook, New York, and 300 East 40th Street, New York City. Not FDIC or NCUA insured. No financial institution guarantee. May lose value. Securities offered by Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC. Welcome to Leadership Unleashed, the show that will explore the multifaceted world of leadership through insightful interviews, thought-provoking discussions, and practical advice from leaders throughout Westchester County and beyond. I'm your host, Dr. Marsha Gordon, President and CEO of the Business Council of Westchester.
I'm John Ravitz, the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for the Business Council of Westchester. Pitch hitting for Marsha Gordon, our President and CEO today. On today's episode of Leadership Unleashed, part of the BCW Podcast Network, we're highlighting an organization that helps small businesses thrive, the Acceleration Project, TAP. We'll dive into how TAP is supporting small business owners through hands-on coaching, financial education, and programs designed to strengthen long-term business stability. Today, we're joined by Jack Murphy, the Vice President of Program and Partnership at TAP, where he leads the organization's service delivery team, which serves over 3,000 small businesses annually with high-impact coaching and technical assistance. For over a decade, Jack has helped drive growth in varying leadership and contributor roles across the technology and real estate sectors. A seasoned business development strategy, programs, and partnership professional, Jack maintains both deep business acumen and a fierce passion for building resilient communities. Today, we'll discuss TAP's mission, the development of the EDGE program, how it supports small business owners through an 8-month coaching journey, and how TAP is scaling its reach through partnerships and increased demand for its services. Before we dive in, we'd like to thank the Westchester Medical Center for their support as the premier sponsor of the Leadership Unleashed podcast.
A lot goes into planning a birthday. For my daughter Cameron, it started with a stem cell transplant to cure her sickle cell disease. Yes, cure. Westchester Medical Center Health Network uses every technology, technique, and talented specialist to conquer diseases that could otherwise rob a child of childhood, helping my daughter and thousands of others at Maria Ferreri Children's Hospital. Happy birthday, Cameron. Happy birthday.
WMC Health, advancing care here.
Jack, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me, John. You know, I'm a John myself. John is my real name, so great to be with you, another John.
All right, we'll double team this together. So I gave a brief description of TAP, but obviously there's so much that goes into building an organization that really is laser focused on helping small business owners. Tell me a little bit about your background and also about the TAP program, its mission, and again, the goals that you've set forth to help small business.
Absolutely. Well, just thanks again for having me, John, and want to thank the broader BCW team as well for everything that y'all do. Just great reverence for everything you do for our communities. And we at TAP were founded in 2012 with a pretty bold idea, bringing Wall Street talent to Main Street. Our founder, Jane, recognized that small business owners were navigating the same financial complexities and endless other complexities as larger companies, but often lacked the same caliber of advisors and social capital and resources to effectively build their skill sets and grow their small businesses. And so we were built to close that gap. Our mission is to empower under-resourced small business owners through high impact coaching, technical assistance, and advisory services. And we believe deeply, as y'all do, that small business ownership is among the most important, potent pathways to wealth building and economic mobility. And we think about all the things that we love and adore about our communities, and small businesses being at the nexus of so many of those things. And so since 2012, we've been honored and fortunate to work with almost 12,000 small business owners. And for our highest impact intervention, our deep dive program, our business survival rate is 92%, compared to national averages, which are around half of small businesses end up failing within 5 years.
Can I just interrupt and talk to us a little bit about that figure and the survival index? What does that mean?
Yeah. So as we know, especially here and now for small business owners, it's a tremendously difficult, tumultuous time to be an entrepreneur. As I lovingly call them, chief everything officers, who are often wearing all the hats. They're the salesperson, they're the CFO, they're sweeping the floors at the end of the day. And so who can blame them when we see that nearly half of small business owners across the country fail within 5 years of starting their business? They're up against quite a many different compounding challenges. And so one of our mandates is to increase that survivability. And we're very proud of our 92% survivability rate for our deep dive program, which pairs two consultants, which I'll talk about later. We have a very deep consultant network that are at the core of everything we do. Two consultants paired with one business owner over a prolonged period to tackle their most acute challenges. And that's one of the programs I oversee. To get to your question about my role, as Vice President of Programs and Partnerships, I oversee our service delivery team. We are the engine that drives our mission. We support over 3,000 small business owners every year through a combination of high reach and high depth programming. And a big part of my job is making sure that each and every one of those engagements with small business owners is high quality and truly meeting the owner where they are.
Well, we're so proud at the Business Council of Westchester about the fact that we have so many small businesses that really play such a key role in their communities. They're economic drivers. They create jobs, obviously. They bring in revenue to the local municipalities as well as provide the services that they do. So you lead this service delivery team. Talk to us a little about the levels of success it's seen. Again, what's the intake process? How does a small business come in to your program? And then how does that team begin to work with the business owner?
Yeah, so it always starts with a bold leap of faith. So as a small business owner, it's, when you're balancing so many things, as we've discussed, it can be hard to ask for help for many of them. There's an inherent fear there. And so we're very proud at the Acceleration Project that we provide all of our services for free to small business owners. And where small business owners can start is, as you suggested, through an intake process that begins on our website. So right now, small business owners that are listening can go to theaccelerationproject.org and check out our services, which we rotate regularly in terms of format and topic. And they can complete an initial intake form, which tells us a bit more about their business, their needs, their trajectory. And from there, they can attend webinars and workshops that we host. We have a very popular format called small group coaching, which pairs up to 3 small business owners with one consultant. And that affords, of course, education on different topical areas, but also a peer learning environment as well that enables small business owners to connect with one another. And then we offer one-on-one mentorship opportunities as well. There's a litany of support, and we seek to build a sort of continuum such that the small business owner can keep coming back for more as they seek to grow.
As much as we want to forget the fact that all of us lived through the pandemic, obviously small businesses were deeply impacted on their day-to-day operations. Some had to close, some were able to keep the doors open and their employees still with them. How had your organization dealt with the pandemic and the aftermath of the pandemic to help small businesses?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, I think, it precedes actually my tenure. So I've been at the organization for almost a year. I'll be celebrating a year next month at the Acceleration Project. And what a year it's been. We have so much in flight with our programs like the EDGE program, which we'll get to. But I think that was a key trajectory, a key inflection point, I should say, for the Acceleration Project. And our service delivery model is multifaceted. We do a lot of in-person work, especially in Westchester County with dear partners like like Westchester Catalyst and the local chambers. But we also deliver a great many services virtually. So those services I mentioned, our webinars, our small group coaching, our one-on-one mentorship opportunities, those are all delivered just like this, like we're talking right now over Zoom and Google Meet. So we, during the pandemic, were able to really scale up and bring a lot of what we were already doing to scalability and meet small business owners where they are, which was largely in their homes and in a moment of real crisis. So that's enabled us to continue to grow, and we're just very excited about continuing to deliver on this hybrid service delivery model.
Our guest today on Leadership Unleashed, part of the BCW Podcast Network, is Jack Murphy, the Vice President of Programs and Partnership at the Acceleration Project TAP. All right, let's talk about the EDGE program. I like the name The Edge. It obviously has a lot of important roles that it's going to play for small businesses. Tell us about the creation of EDGE and what the goals are.
Well, thank you for your validation on the name. It was, thinking about, how do small business owners get an edge, especially in the financial realm, and that sort of led to the acronym. And, I think the honest answer is that we see it as a pervasive pattern across the small business owners that we serve, especially the early stage entrepreneurs whom may have very entangled personal and business finances. And usually the sort of programmatic interventions or coaching, mentorship, advisory opportunities might tackle one or the other, personal financial health and business financial health. But for many business owners, they are ever entangled. And so we were very humbled and fortunate enough to get support from the City Foundation to pilot EDGE in New York City and Westchester County. It's an 8-month program. It tracks across 4 different pillars of financial excellence, and those were built upon the Financial Health Network's FinHealth score, which we, in our program design phase, really saw as a very accessible binary measure of success for financial health for a small business owner. And the FinHealth score, again, by the Financial Health Network, is largely a measure of personal financial health. What we sought to do was build a series of adjacent business health milestones, business financial health milestones, such that the two can be measured in a very collinear way. And so EDGE is about halfway through. We started early this year, and we're making our way through the program. We have about 280 business owners participating across New York City and Westchester County, and we're seeing really exciting results. And again, can't thank the City Foundation enough for their support. We're also excited just last week to announce that the Truist Foundation is going to be expanding our EDGE program, which is good validation of our initial success, to 5 new markets. So if any listeners are coming from Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, or South New Jersey or Philadelphia, please feel free to check out our website to learn more about our expansion into those new markets.
I have to imagine that when a business owner who's now part of the EDGE program sits down with your team and they start talking about the financial health, whether it be their personal financial health or their business financial health, that's not easy conversations to have at times. And how did your team try to lower the anxiety level to make sure that, again, all the facts were put on paper so that you could do a good evaluation?
Yeah, well, I think it's first and foremost important to validate that anxiety. When you think about an early stage entrepreneur who's thinking about, I said chief everything officer is, this is where it really shows up is, they're thinking about sharpening their marketing strategy, tightening up their operations. And those are great things to be focused on. But if a financial shock hits, right, either on the personal or business side, that could undo so much of the work built to, again, build a brand, identify their core customer, and find a product market fit. All those things are incredible, inflection points for a growing small business. But if you don't have a financial foundation in place, it's going to lead to a gap in cash flow, credit issues, a real period of financial stress that might happen on the personal side of the ledger that bleeds into the business side of it. And so really positioning it as an opportunity for them to build a really strong sort of fail-safe such that they can proceed with confidence across their other growth areas.
And obviously, small business owners have to put together a business plan. Does the financial health aspect of the business plan coexist in one document that you help them work on?
Yeah, that's a good question. It really depends. Business owners come to us of all shapes and sizes. Our average client, makes certainly, 90% of our businesses make less than $1 million in annual revenue, but, a great many of them make less than $50,000 in annual revenue. They're solopreneurs, emerging from the ideation stage, post revenue, certainly, but their business plan is, perhaps very fluid. And so for a great many of them, yes, the the financial health piece has to be integrated. And something I'm really proud to share actually is that in terms of I mentioned the milestones and sort of the incremental progress on business financial health that we're measuring. We found that there's been a 17% increase in business owners who have a plan for owner pay from the baseline. So these are business owners that came into the program without a plan, which would very much, exist within their business plan, as it should, for predictable and putting some rigor behind, how they're going to pay themselves. That's huge. That's a massive step, and we're very proud of that.
It's incredible. We're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsor, Westchester Medical Center. Again, our guest today has been Jack Murphy, who's the Vice President of Programs and Partnerships at the Acceleration Project TAP. We'll be right back.
This is the coming home you dream about.
But getting here was unimaginable.
At 25 weeks, I was hemorrhaging badly, losing amniotic fluid. Fortunately, I was taken to Westchester Medical Center, where they have the most advanced care in the Hudson Valley for high-risk pregnancies and premature babies. And because we were there, now we're here.
WMC Health, advancing care here.
You're listening to Leadership Unleashed, part of the BCW Podcast Network. Our guest today is Jack Murphy, who's the Vice President of Programming and Partnership at the Acceleration Project TAP. We're learning more about the work that TAP does on a daily basis to assist small businesses in New York and in Westchester. We've talked a little bit about the program, Jack. Let's talk about how you recruit and prepare consultants to do the kind of financial coaching that we just talked about, as they really do deep dives into the financial health of the small businesses that are a part of the program.
Yeah, so the consultants are at the core of everything that we do. We operate a skills-based volunteering model. It's a very high leverage model that enables that, as I mentioned at the beginning, the funneling of Wall Street talent into the very real and chronic need for these advisory types of services at the Main Street level. We have over 200 plus pro bono volunteer consultants. They come from all walks of life. 40% of them have been small business owners themselves. 63% have advanced degrees. We have expertise across all sorts of business disciplines. We've talked about financial health today, but we have marketing adept, operations adept, great strategists. We really can meet business owners where they are because of our diversity of skill sets. But equally important to me is the cultural competence. So that's where we vet fairly heavily. It's, one thing to be a master of a craft, is quite another to teach on it. And our consultants bring the best of both into the fold. And I'll also add that they speak over 20 different languages, and we have 17% of our consultants speak Spanish as well. So it's something we're very proud of.
Well, and also they must be able to develop a level of trust
Yes.
with the people now who are part of the EDGE program, because again, you're talking about folks' livelihoods, you're talking about their passions, their dreams. They're coming to you and your consultants to really get that guidance. But again, they have to feel that they are in a safe space, if you will, in terms of listening and talking to somebody who has been in their shoes. Truly.
And I think it also coexisting with that is the ability to challenge perhaps the preconceived notions that business owners bring into the fold, and being able to establish both trust and an environment where they have a real strategic sounding board who's checking them, who's helping them with decision fatigue. And so it's a very hard line to walk, and our consultants work really hard to enable the best of both.
So the program's been up and going. You obviously have now been able to get some feedback from those folks who have been part of the EDGE program. What are you hearing? What's surprising them, challenging them once they're in the program?
Yeah, well, I think we have to start first with where we started, which is a baseline assessment that we created and launched at the onset of the program, which gave us a really clear picture of where each of the business owners are across the different pillars of financial health. I mentioned the 4 pillars of financial excellence set out in the FinHealth score: spend, save, borrow, and plan. Plan and protect actually is that last pillar. And, it's really about having an honest starting point. From there, we can measure success across all 4 modules. And about halfway through the program, we're very proud to say that, again, 280 business owners are participating. I'll share a couple testimonials because I think it's always nice to bring it down to the small business level. First is from Lee Hogans, who's the owner of Wiley Ho Music in New Rochelle. He has this to say: Edge may have been the most organized and well thought out one-on-one I've had. My consultant was extremely helpful and professional. TAP continues to impress me by offering invaluable information through their consultants. The next is from Gustavo, who's in the Bronx. He's the founder and CEO of Harbor Global Corp. He says, I would recommend Edge because of the practical business insights it provides. My most valuable takeaway was understanding scalable growth strategies. And last one is from Adrienne, who is based in Tuckahoe. She's the founder of Safe Stops. And she says, what sets Edge apart is its ability to make conversations around finances feel personal, approachable, and empowering. Founders can engage honestly, learn openly, and grow with confidence. Really getting back to your point, John, about sort of the fear inherent to tackling these really big and weighty topics of financial health. And we're very proud of the results thus far. And I think it's very telling of the importance of business support organizations broadly as well. It's not just us doing this. It's great organizations, other local organizations, chambers, CDFIs providing technical assistance. This is just such an important area for our small business owners.
AI is obviously something that every business now is having to be engaged in. The technology is changing every day. We at the Business Council of Westchester just finished a program with Google.org to help small businesses begin to help their employees learn the foundations of AI. Have you been incorporated AI into the Edge program and into TAP?
Yes, so we are hyper-focused on helping small business owners adopt AI. You think about the onset of the internet at the turn of the century and how many small business owners were left behind leveraging the internet, while a great many larger corporations were able to seize on it. This is a real opportunity for the small business ecosystem to innovate, build efficiencies, and build confidence through this new incredible tool set that we have. For us, we've been hyper-focused on helping small business owners first approach AI safely, confidently, and effectively, and that's been a key pillar of our small group coaching, which I mentioned earlier in the episode, is one of our most popular formats. And again, a small business owner can go on our website right now and book a small group coaching session on how to get started with AI. In July, we'll actually be launching a new AI coaching format on more specific to marketing. So keep on the lookout for that. And I'll also shout out the New York City Department of Small Business Services, with whom we've been able to serve over 700 small business owners with AI coaching. And so the next step, I think, for the small business owners is to really think about agentic AI and how they can build in agents into their workflows to mitigate cumbersome administrative burdens and have AI do some of the spade work the repeatable spade work they're doing. So that frees up the small business owner to be more customer facing and do what they do best to grow their business.
Our guest today on Leadership Unleashed is Jack Murphy, the Vice President of Program and Partnership at the Acceleration Project TAP. We've been talking about the work that TAP and their Edge program are doing to help small businesses. Again, you've got some great milestones that you've already been able to highlight. The testimonials that you just read speak for themselves. When you talk to your consultants about the work that they're doing with small businesses, what are some of the common denominators that they're hearing that they're now using as part of the curriculum to help other small business owners?
So we try to enable, a really strong peer learning environment, not just for our small business clients, but for our consultants as well. And I think it's so far in the Edge program been very validating to hear from the consultants that they're seeing, again, these sort of incremental milestones. One other stat I'll mention is we've seen 19% growth in owners that have adopted some sort of bill pay system from the baseline. So that's, again, very telling of where our consultants are making a great difference in helping sort of balance the needs of the small business owners with the real and practical steps they can take today to inform a brighter and stronger future for them tomorrow. So I think consultants are gleaning that from clients, but they're also through the peer learning that we afford through the Acceleration Project able to sharpen their iron with other consultants as well. We host events. We have professional development opportunities. We hosted one yesterday for our consultants on, speaking of agentic AI, thinking about incorporating agentic AI on really three fronts. If small business owners are adopting agentic AI, our consultants are also thinking about ways to use it to improve their consulting acumen and strengthen their ability to deliver great service to our clients. And then there's also this budding sense that, well, gosh, we need to be thinking about in between coaching sessions, how can agentic AI be purposed to further learning and help incorporate these sort of practical, actionable steps that our consultants are advising on. So it's a really exciting time to be in the small business coaching space.
That's great. We're almost out of time, which I'm sorry to say, but so it's an 8-month coaching journey, as we said. But obviously, after somebody's completed that 8-week program, can they still use TAP as a resource?
Yes.
How does that
we
happen?
Like to say once they're in the family, they're stuck with us.
Okay.
We certainly invite business owners following the EDGE program or any program engagement to circle back with us as needed. We again offer this slate of free services, which we're very proud about, and we also have a great many other partnerships and whether with corporations, funders, chambers, or otherwise. Such that we're bringing opportunities to the greater New York City ecosystem with some regularity now that small business owners can always come back for more. That's we're very excited about the future, and I think there's so much to be said about the opportunity that entrepreneurs have in front of them, especially here in Westchester County and New York City.
Well, and we want businesses to take advantage of that. For those businesses who are listening, again, can you give your website so that they can learn more about the TAP program?
Yeah, it's the accelerationproject.org. And if you want to learn more about the EDGE program, it's very easy. You can navigate to our Apply for Services page, which has our broader spectrum of free coaching opportunities. And then under that, you can learn more about EDGE and read more testimonials and more statistics. And again, just very thankful to the City Foundation, to the Truist Foundation for helping us expand, and all of our partnerships with the Chambers of Commerce and other business-serving organizations for helping us bring this program to life.
Well, we're very excited that TAP is a member of the BCW. We look forward to hearing about the success over the next year with the EDGE program and other programs. Our guest today has been Jack Murphy, who's the Vice President of Program and Partnerships at the Acceleration Project TAP. Jack, thanks for joining us today, and we also want to thank Westchester Medical Center for their sponsorship. This is John Ravitz, pinch hitting for Marsha Gordon today. You've been listening to Leadership Unleashed, part of the BCW Podcast Network.
Be sure to check out the BCW Podcast Network's expansive lineup of shows: Leadership Unleashed, What's Trending, Advocacy and Politics Unplugged, the Member Spotlight, and Nonprofit Voices of Impact. The Business Council of Westchester is the county's largest business membership organization focusing on economic development and advocacy. With over 1,100 members, it is our mission to work for the profitability of our members and the prosperity of the Westchester community. To learn more about the Business Council of Westchester, please go to thebcw.org.